In this last video of our series grading the 2023 Green Bay Packers, we are actually going to go through two position groups, our defensive backs and our special teams unit. Both of these really struggled at times this season with inconsistent play, injuries, and honestly really bad coaching that impacted these performances of these players. But there are a couple of bright spots as well. The grading scale is as followed. A is for a player that had an all-pro caliber season or way exceeding expectations. B is for a player that had a Pro Bowl caliber season or just exceeding expectations. C is for a player that had a solid season and met all their expectations. D is for a player that had a disappointing season, and F is for players that completely stunk it up. So let's go ahead and get started with our cornerbacks. The 7th round rookie out of Kentucky had a surprising role for the Packers in 2023, being one of the most consistent starters in the Packers lineup, and at times looking like he had the capabilities of being an excellent corner in the NFL. But there were also times where he looked like the 7th round rookie that he is. Overall, in 2023, Valentine appeared in 17 games, starting in 12 of them, with 44 total tackles, 33 solo, 1 fumble recovery, 9 pass deflections, a passer rating allowed of 84.1, a yards per reception of 12, and a completion percentage against of 57.6%. PFF was not that kind to him, having an overall grade of 57.5, a run defense grade of 40.7, and a coverage grade of 60.1. But overall for his 2023 season, I'm giving Valentine a grade of C+, as he had a pretty good season, especially for a 7th round rookie. I expect big things from him this upcoming season, as his skill set seems to be more from an aggressive corner, rather than an off-ball zone corner that Joe Barry was running the majority of the time. I cannot wait to see how Jeff Hafley uses him in 2024. It was another frustrating season for Stokes as he missed a ton of time recovering from his injury in 2022 and again after he got re-injured in 2023. For his 2023 season, Stokes appeared in 3 games, 2 of them being starts, having 6 total tackles, 5 solo, 1 tackle for loss, a passer rating against allowed of 152.9, and a yards per reception of 14. His overall PFF grade was 51.5, with a run defense grade of 76.1 and a coverage grade of 45.9. For his 2023 season, I am giving Stokes a grade of F, as he was barely on the field due to injury, and when he was on the field, he didn't play that well. 2024 is a huge year for the former first-round pick to prove that he can stay healthy and perform as he did as a rookie, and not as he has done in the past few seasons. Nixon is a very interesting player to grade, as there are 2 aspects to his game that kind of are on an opposite end of the spectrum in terms of how well he did. There is his play at the nickel corner spot, where he was below average with some good moments thrown in there, such as an interception of Patrick Mahomes late in the game against the Chiefs. For his 2023 season, Nixon appeared in 17 games, starting in 13 of them as a slot corner, having 80 total tackles, 59 solo, 3 tackles for loss, a half a sack, 6 pass deflections, a passer rating allowed of 103.3, and the 1 interception against Mahomes. He graded out at 59.0 overall, according to PFF, with a run defense grade of 53.2, a pass rush grade of 68.6, and a coverage grade of 60.3. And then there his ability as a kick returner, which is fantastic as he made his 2nd straight All-Pro that position, leading the league in returns, yards, and average return. So for 2023, I'm giving Nixon a grade of C+, as he was a bit below average in terms of pass coverage, but his elite ability in the return game makes up for a part of that in his grade. He should still be an effective kick returner even with the new rules that are going to be taking place this season, and he shouldn't have too big of a role in the secondary with all the new players the Packers have drafted in the last year. Another player who was supposedly to be a primarily depth piece, but ended up having a much bigger role than it was expected due to injuries, Valentine played a pretty solid role in his time with the Packers in 2023. He appeared in 14 games, starting in 6 of them, with 43 total tackles, 28 of them solo, 7 pass deflections, 1 interception, and a passer rating against of 79.4, with a yards per reception of 12.5. PFF gave him an overall grade of 60.3, with a run defense grade of 49.0 and a coverage grade of 62.0. I'm giving Valentine a grade of C+, as he had a pretty solid season, stepping up when other players went down with injury, and gave the Packers solid reps as a good depth corner. Now that was a disappointing season for the Pro Bowl level corner out of Louisville. Alexander spent a good amount of the season injured, and it was even suspended for a game due to conduct detrimental to the team. And even when he was on the field, Jaire wasn't really Jaire. I mean, he was still a very solid starting corner, but he wasn't the elite corner that we have seen in the past. Now, I personally believe that the scheme that Joe Barry was running was not letting Jaire play to his strengths, and that under Jeff Hafley, Alexander will be improved in 2024. But in 2023, Alexander appeared in 7 games, all 7 of them being starts, with 27 total tackles, 23 solo, with 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble, 5 pass deflections, a passer rating allowed of 124.1, and a yards per reception of 13.6. PFF gave him an overall grade of 70.2, with a run defense grade of 57.7, a pass rush grade of 39.8, and a coverage grade of 72.8. For his 2023 season, I am giving Alexander a grade of C-. As per his level of play in the past, he had a very disappointing season with injuries and a lack of high-end play. But I do believe that in 2024, he will be much, much improved under this new defensive scheme. Rasul had a really good season in 2023, but sadly, he did not spend the entire year with the Packers. After 7 games with the Packers, Rasul was traded to the Buffalo Bills in exchange for what turned out to be the 91st overall pick in 2024, which was Missouri linebacker Tyron Hopper. He played decently for the Packers, having 32 total tackles, 26 solos, 2 tackles for loss, 6 pass deflections, and an interception. But he was really good for the Bills, having 4 interceptions in 9 games with them and helping the Bills win the AFC East. PFF gave him an overall grade of 82.2, with a run defense grade of 72.7, a pass rush grade of 69.9, and a coverage grade of 84.4 for the entire season. I'm giving Rasul a grade of B- for the season, as he was really solid for the 7 games he played in Green Bay and netted the Packers an extra 3rd round pick. I wish him the best while he is in Buffalo, but I do want him back with the Pack. It was another rough season for the former 1st round pick out of Maryland, as he struggled mightily throughout the season. He also struggled staying on the field due to injuries, only appearing in 10 games for the Packers in 2023. But he did have a decent postseason, having a pick 6 against the Cowboys to put the Packers up massively in the wild card round, but also dropping a potential key interception against the 49ers in the divisional round. Overall in 2023, Savage appeared in 10 games, starting in all 10 of them, recording 51 total tackles, 36 solo, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection, a passer rating against of 96.1, a yards per reception of 8.7. PFF gave him an overall grade of 66.3, with a run defense grade of 72.8, a pass rush grade of 52.2, and a coverage grade of 61.7. For his 2023 season, I'm giving Darnell a grade of D+, as he really disappointed in what was really his last chance to succeed in Green Bay. In the offseason, he signed a 3-year, $21 million deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wished him the best for the rest of his career, but it's safe to call his time in Green Bay a disappointment. Simone Biles' husband was brought into Green Bay to be a depth safety heading into the 2023 season, but he ended up being more of a starter due to injuries to other players on the team, and he played pretty decently in that role. He did struggle at times in pass coverage, but was a solid contributor to the Packers' secondary that was devastated by injury. For his 2023 season, Owens appeared in 17 games, starting in 11 of them, recording 84 tackles, 58 solo, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 3 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery touchdown against the Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. He also had a 115.8 passer rating against, a yards per reception of 10. PFF gave him an overall grade of 61.9, with a run defense grade of 59.7, a pass rush grade of 71.2, and a coverage grade of 61.2. I'm giving Owens a grade of C for the 2023 season, as he was a decent option for the Packers secondary, but not one for the long term, as he signed a 2-year, $4.75 million contract with the Chicago Bears. The 7th round rookie out of Iowa State played a lot more than was first anticipated due to a ton of injuries in the Packers secondary, and it honestly was a pretty rough showing. He was a really raw prospect, really struggling in pass coverage and then defending the run, but what else could you really expect out of a 7th round rookie? In 2023, Johnson appeared in 12 games, starting 4 of them, recording 24 total tackles, 18 of them solo, 3 pass deflections, and his first career interception. PFF gave him an overall grade of 45.6, with a run defense grade of 37.4 and a coverage grade of 52.1. For his 2023 season, I am giving Johnson a grade of C-, as he did play more than I was expected given his draft stock, but really did struggle when he was on the field, really showing how raw of a prospect he is. Hopefully, with more time to develop, Johnson could be a solid depth piece / spot starter for the Packers in 2024. The best safety for the Packers in 2023, Ford turned in another quietly solid season for the Packers, though he did struggle with injuries this season as well. He was by far the best safety in coverage and also provided some decent run support in the game as well. Overall, for his 2023 season, Ford appeared in 13 games, starting in 9 of them, recording 71 total tackles, 47 solo, with 6 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, a passer rating allowed of 30.1, and an average yards per reception of 9.8. PFF gave him an overall grade of 69.9, with a run defense grade of 60.8, a pass rush grade of 56.1, and a coverage grade of 72.9. For his 2023 season, I am giving Ford a grade of C+, as he was by far the best Packer safety in terms of overall play, even though it was at a slightly above average level to the league. He is currently still a free agent, and I doubt that he will be back with the Packers in 2024, as they heavily invested in the safety position in the offseason and with the NFL draft. It was a really rough season for the rookie kicker out of Auburn. Drafted in the 6th round to replace legendary Packers kicker Mason Crosby, who is the franchise's all-time leader in points, Carlson definitely struggled with accuracy, particularly from distance. There were times where there were games that were lost due to that inaccuracy from field goal range, especially the NFC divisional round against the 49ers. In 2023, Carlson went 27 for 33 on field goals, 6 for 6 from 20 to 29 yards, 14 for 14 from 30 to 39 yards, 4 for 8 from 40 to 49 yards, and 3 for 5 from 50 plus yards out for an 81.8% rate and along a 53. He also went 34 for 39 from extra points for an 87.2% rate. PFF gave him a 46.8 grade on field goals and a 63.8 grade on kickoffs. For his season, I'm giving Carlson a grade of F, as he was a total disappointment on the field. His position as a Packers kicker is in jeopardy, as there are currently 2 other kickers on the roster to compete with him in camp, and honestly, I would not be surprised if he was not on the roster heading into the 2024 season. Whelan had a decent season punting the ball for the Packers after beating out veteran Pat O'Donnell in the preseason. The lone Irish-born player in the NFL appeared in all 17 games for the Packers, recording 57 punts, a yards per punt of 46.2, a net yards per punt of 39.4, 5 touchbacks, 18 punts landed inside of 20 yards, and along of 68 yards. Overall, I'm giving Whelan a grade of C+, as he was a really solid rookie, and I do expect him to be back as a Packers partner in 2024. Well, that is it for my series on grading the 2023 Green Bay Packers. Thank you all so much for watching it this year. A lot of them have gotten some pretty good views, and I really do appreciate every single one of them. And next up for my list of football videos I want to get done, it's going to be a long one, but I'm going to get started on my 1999 NFL Draft retrospective. I want to get this done by the time football season starts. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Those are some of my big projects I really like to do. In the meantime, baseball videos going to keep coming out. Might do some NFL trivia in the meantime to keep content coming out. And so, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you again very, very soon.